Round 2 is done and dusted. We only have 2 people on the couch. Welcome to AFLW Today's Round 2 wrap-up. I'm your host, Alex Donnelly. Usually, I would be joined by Liam McAllion, but for some reason, I've allowed him to go on holiday. He's in Japan living the life right now. He did send through a text how happy he was about North Melbourne winning, but also to talk me through yet another North Melbourne win is Jess Robinson from Code Sports. Jess, how are we?
We're so good. 16 wins on the trot for North, so, it's a great time. But what a round. Yeah,
what a great round. But firstly, I'm North Melbourne. I'm going to have my biggest win ever and kick my biggest score of all time and not lose for 2 years. Can you guys just grow up?
You know what? We've had a lot of downtimes with the men's side, so just let us have this.
Oh, no, I'm poking absolute fun, just having a good time. It's amazing that we'll talk about North Melbourne later. But so this weekend in the round, North Melbourne have kicked their highest score ever, which seems insane that they haven't hit the ton yet. Biggest win ever, but you've also got Sydney kicking their biggest score, having their biggest win, St Kilda's biggest loss, and Brisbane's biggest score. It was a great weekend of football.
It was a big, big round, a few belterings, a few, really close battles, but not a whole lot of upsets, maybe balance restored to a couple of teams.
I'll claim one of them as an upset as well, and 2 teams heard my criticism and kind of decided to take it personally, so that was nice of them to get me wrong. But next week, social girl Spence, she's back from holiday as well. She'll be on the couch as well to talk us through Carlton. She is very, very excited.
Bring back Spence.
I thought first day back from holiday, literally today, I couldn't make her just come onto the couch. Like,
that would have been rough.
He's into it, Spence. But we'll start off with Saturday at at Victoria Park. Amy Park's in, what is it, down here in Melbourne? It's the Melbourne Storm ground. But Collingwood, 4-9-33. Defeated GWS 4-1-25 in a game that was close that probably shouldn't have been as close.
Right. GWS almost did well for taking it to the Pies.
Well, they almost snatched it there. That they took advantage of the opportunities that they had whenever the ball went inside sort of forward 50. But Evans kicking 3 goals, kicks 3 straight. They have 5 shots on goal for 4 goals. But Collingwood, my God, that was frustrating to watch.
Made it hard.
They did make it hard for themselves. They were in control of this game the whole way through despite being behind. And that was the story of their day, was kicking behind. And it was actually some very costly GWS mistakes 10 metres out from goal that has eventually cost the Giants the game here. Like you have Kavanagh kicking across goal where the tallest person on the field is standing with Frederick just like, oh, football, bang. Takes a mark at the top of the square. Like those things are coach killers for the Giants. And in a team that's going to struggle for wins, I'm leaning to the Giants part first. They're going to look back on those 2 mistakes. Also, there was a holding the ball about 10 metres out as well. They're going to look back on those and go, we probably should have won that and probably should have tied it up a bit more.
And does that also come down to just some leadership on the ground? Like running through the plays, that's probably the wrong decision. How is that looking on the ground from the Giants? Or is it just a bit of they don't really know what they're doing yet?
Getting it out of the midfield was all right. Obviously, you got Beeson and Caitlin Sirhoy there, like doing their jobs as well. But it's just, obviously, Parker getting injured last week as well really hurt them. And just, I don't have much confidence in their team in general. Like, there's a couple of nice players, but aside from that, there's not a lot going on. And we've said Collingwood are probably going to struggle this year. This was a game I thought Collingwood would win comfortably because I think they've got enough pieces to win games like these. Like Benici, Sarah Rowe, first game back from having surgery as well, 30 days ago or something. Yeah. Absolutely insane. Ruby Slasher was brilliant. Ash Centra, not a lot of the footy again. We saw some moments once again, though.
Absolutely.
You can see it there once she gets her, her full tank up and going. They'll just throw her in the midfield and it'll be like, oh, yeah, she's really good.
There's going to be one game this season where she absolutely just stars and it's like a legacy breakout game and everyone will be talking about it. But fans are seeing a glimmer. Little glimmers from her so far. Yeah,
they threw her in the midfield in the last quarter. She gets a centre clearance straight away. She makes the smother with 30 seconds to go. There's all those little moments and you're just like, okay, I can see it.
Exciting.
And what I like, she's got a bit of arrogance about her. She knows she's good as well. And at 18 years old to sort of rate yourself that highly, she's demanding more of her teammates already, which is really good to see. But good for Collingwood. It's their first win at Victoria Park since 2023. Obviously, last year was a very long year for them.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll be happy to get the first win. Just back on Ash, she's coming off a big win, a big week just in the media as well, just having all that attention, the spotlight on her, especially with that really cool
through the legs bounce thing that I cannot do. I'll tear a hamstring attempting it.
Yeah, so I think she did really well to kind of back up that spotlight, all the attention, and still bring it.
Also, Ash Centra loves football. She was at Frankston on Saturday night, and I saw her at Arden Street yesterday. So
love to see that.
Big supporter of the dub, but I do need to bring up that when Collingwood did hit the front, it was a great team play because you have Atkinson make the tackle in the defensive half. It's probably won them the game because then Slisher gets the ball, Centra, Rowe and Howarth all involved in the build-up to the goal. It's all the main players there, aside from Britt Benici, all involved to getting them to that match-winning goal as well. Big thing for Collingwood, and I'm going to call it out all year. You still can't defend transition. A good team will cut you to pieces. You need to learn how to defend transitions out of your defensive 50.
Baby steps for them.
Baby steps.
They got a win, and Ruby Schleicher was stoked with it.
Yeah, as you would be as well. First win in front of home in so long. Oh, this is going to be fun.
All right.
This is going to be a fun time.
Let's go, Alex. Kick us off.
People's First Stadium, the Gold Coast Suns, 3-3-21. My beloved Sydney Swans, 15-13, 108. Or 103 actually is 15-13. I've put an extra number in there because I wish they'd kicked an extra goal. But where else are we going to start off this Sydney Swans victory?
Wow.
Chloe Molloy. 7 goals, 3. 13 score involvements. Funnily enough, not her highest score involvements in her career. She has 17 in a game.
That's just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, but she's kicked 7. But Chloe, I love you, but be better. You could have kicked 10.
Could have broken the record.
I reckon she'll look back on the game, and obviously Brooke Lachlan is now
the forwards coach, right?
She's the forwards coach at the Swans. She held the record when she kicked it when she was at the Dogs, I believe. And she's probably sitting there going, "Oh, my record's so gone here." When Chloe has 5 at halftime, it was great to see. But and I'm going to ask this: do you think Chloe Molloy's played 2 better back-to-back games ever? She probably played better games, but has she played them back-to-back as well ever?
I mean, also, I think just the context coming off the injury, probably not. No. And with the score involvements plus her own scores, I mean, it's just all-time clutch. She's kicked 11 goals in the opening 2 matches. 11, am I right?
Yeah. And
can I do math?
Yeah, you can. You've mapped that well. The leading goal kicker last year kicked 21. Yeah, that's getting broken. That's
absolutely
100%. We could be on track. And it's also, you look, Jazz Garner's kicked some goals as well. 30 might be the winner this year, which we're at this stage at the AFLW where records are going to be broken year on year. And I think that's really exciting. Just seeing every year history sort of be made. But to the Swans, biggest win, their highest score ever. And of a point, 6 of the 7 highest scores in the AFLW have been at AFL grounds. Might be something in that. Hello, everyone at Docklands.
Just checking in.
Just hi, Alex here, just trying to $20. Once again, I'll do it for $20.
How good's footy at AFL grounds?
Yeah, exactly. But the Swans, they could have won this by a lot more. They butchered the footy going inside 50, and it's the same what they did against Richmond last week as well. They missed some easy shots in front of goal. They had 2-5 at quarter time. And in the back of your mind, you're thinking, and this is my Swans fan hat firmly on going, the Gold Coast are still technically in this. They never really were.
They never had a chance, yeah.
But if they clean up that efficiency, they could have kicked 20 goals. That's where Molloy kicks the 10. Obviously, Montana Ham, we're not going to talk about her as much, but she's had 27, kicked 2, probably could have had 4. Laura Gardner, she had 15 touches at quarter time, ended up with 39. Just a day out.
Unreal.
It was insane. And Zippy Fish had 27, but don't
Zippy.
Yeah.
I love her.
She's played amazing, probably going to get the Rising Star nom, and she's probably not in the 3 or 4 best players for the Swans on the day.
They had an absolute day out. I also think there's just a bit in that with the opposition. Yeah. They're coming off a couple of big wins off lower leveled competition, but next week they take on the Cats.
Yes.
So I think that's where we can really see where they're at.
Especially the Swans will also, once again, they play at an AFL ground down at GMHBA as well, so it'll be interesting to see how they go. Shout out to Amelia Martin kicking a goal on debut. I thought that was lovely. And for the Suns, we do need to talk a bit about them because obviously they were the opposition here. Havana Harris, I want to see her in the midfield because they just made too many simple mistakes trying to get the ball into the forward line. And we've seen that she's an athlete and she can take a mark, she can lay a tackle. She laid out Zippy Fish at one point. Apparently they're best friends from the academies.
Oh, great.
From when they played All Australians and stuff. So that was really funny. But I want to see more of her in the midfield helping out Charlie Rowbottom, Lucy Single. And I thought Gervin was quite good for the Suns on a day where nothing was really good for them. There's a lot of work to do there.
Yeah, and you know what? Putting Harris in the midfield, why not? Why not change up a little bit of the structure? I mean, it seems like it's going to be the season that the Suns can just play with it a little bit and see what works.
There's no expectations on them. They're going to get some more kids through the academy again next year.
Yes.
It's all about the building blocks for the future now as well. And shout out to Julie O'Sullivan kicking her first ever goal.
Great.
So it was a good day for the Swans. Casey Fields. I caught up on this morning because it was on the same time as the other game. Melbourne, 13-11-89, belted St Kilda, 2-3-15.
Yeah.
What in the world happened here?
Melbourne had a day out, and I think probably we went into the match thinking the Saints were going to bring a little bit more heat after their big upset win over the Crows in round one. But the D's just said, absolutely not. We're on our home deck out at Casey. It's a beautiful sunny day, and we're just going to go with it, and we're going to give it our all, and Taylor Harris is just going to be a star.
4 goals at halftime. She had same as Malloy 4 at halftime. I think it's like they've all got like the equal record with a few other players. Jazz Garner later on we'll talk about too.
Yeah.
Like,
Taylor Harris was unbelievable. Took a great contested mark.
How fit does she look?
She looks great. Yeah. She looks really good. I mean, we were a bit concerned after she poked herself in the eye in round one and had to end up at the doctor's office, but that was not a bother at all. She kicked the opening 3 goals, the opening 3 of the D's goals, so 3 of 4 were in the opening moments. She was a star, but she had a whole bunch of superstars coming up with her and taking it to the Saints. The D's inside 50 count, they just smashed it as per the scoreboard shows, 42-18. So they had really clean deliveries into the forward line, and they smashed uncontested possessions. Really tells the story of the day.
You're going to struggle to kick goals if you only have 18 inside 50s a day. And
That's it.
This is the biggest problem with St Kilda, and we'll talk more about the Ds, of course. They have weeks where they're good, then the next week they are the worst team in the competition. And that's sort of their level. They need to have those games where they're a -3. They need to bring that up to being at least a 4. Like they drop off so dramatically. It's a concern.
Yeah, and I think the concern would be that their game plan, I think they could tell what was going on with Melbourne. It was just constantly going forward. So they were just flooding the back line defensively. Pretty much all their players were in the back line. So once the time to switch came, they had no one to go to, which was really challenging, of course, to hit the scoreboard. They got smashed in the midfield. The D's just doing what they did between Paxman was unreal. That's such a tongue twister of a name, but really brilliant. She had some great connection with Eden Zanker. They had a couple of plays where they were just absolutely aligned and hit the scoreboard. So it was really good to see.
Zanker started the year very well.
Absolutely. Yeah, she's had a couple of great games. For the Saints, though, backing up performance last week, Georgia Patrikios.
She's so good.
So good. I just felt for her, though, because she didn't really have anyone going with her, but she had 19 and 8 tackles. They didn't really have the chance to get the game on their term.
No.
At all. The D's, though, their spread and carry out of the contest was really classy, really elite. They look really slick, so look really connected, and I'm thinking they're the ones that are going to take it to the Roos.
Ooh, big call.
Yeah, I mean...
You've got a forward line that's firing. Obviously, Kate Hawes playing very well. Hopefully, Olivia Purcell isn't too badly injured. We don't know yet. Recording this Monday lunchtime, so hopefully she's all right.
Yeah, she came off in the second quarter with a knee injury, which, that's a big concern for the D's, knowing that she's been riddled with injuries. She's had an ACL last year. That preseason match had a facial fracture, so she hasn't really had much luck on her side. So, as you mentioned, we don't know what that result is, but fingers crossed for her, because she was having a day out as well. She had 14 or so touches by quarter time. She was looking to be a best on ground performer. So that's a real shame, but I think the Saints had just been humbled a little bit after their Crows win. And
I think most people expected the D's to win that game, but for St Kilda to have a record loss, I don't think anyone sort of saw that coming. No. But it also means after an average year last year, the D's, they are back.
Absolutely.
They are, I know they've beaten a team who was bottom 4 last year and a team who was quite disappointing last year as well in St Kilda. But all you've got to do is win. Their percentage is 500. They look impervious to anything at the moment. It's a great start, and I think they needed that platform. It's a game, I don't know if it's like round 10, round 11. I've already got it circled. Sydney and the D's, that could be a top 4 spot on the line.
Absolutely.
Later in the year.
Yeah, and I think the fixturing comes into play here because, as I just mentioned, I think the D's could take it to the Roos, but we're not going to see that in the regular season, so that might be potentially a big finals matchup.
17 games, not asking for a lot. Fremantle Community Oval. This was a high-class game despite what the scoreboard's going to tell you. This was great football to watch. Freo, 5-5-35. Okay, that's all right. Brisbane, 17-3-105. They heard me going, hey, you're going to go 0-2. It's the longest trip in football. Brisbane, the girls, Hodder, Dakota Davidson, Ali Anderson, Jade Ellinger, insert every other star in that team, went, 17 goals, 3. They sure as hell practiced the goal kicking during the week, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. They did hear your call, and
I got to realise I do have a platform maybe.
they answered perfectly. They definitely took their goal kicking training a bit more seriously last week, I think, and they turned that around. Their score accuracy is 17-3, as you said. So they fixed up where they went wrong against the Hawks in round 1. Super accurate. Tough day at the office for Freo.
The Dockers kicked the first goal about a minute in. You're like, beauty, this is a great start. This is how we go. This is great. At quarter time, the game was in the balance. And then Brisbane just exploded. It's something that these top teams where it is, we'll talk about Adelaide as well, where it's an North and Adelaide and Brisbane. They just have that next gear that other teams don't have yet, but are slowly developing. And they've kicked their highest ever score. They fixed up what went wrong last week. They got their connection. They got their run game going, which is what they really couldn't get going last week. Hawks' pressure was unbelievable. But their handball game, the possession change through the midfield was fantastic. Courtney Hodder kicks 3, Dak Davidson a couple, Nisa Dooley kicks 2 on debut. But the vision that we're going to roll now as we're playing with Nisa kicking her first goal, it starts off with the defensive grab and then just the chain of possessions through. I know they get a bit lucky when it gets out the back after the kick from half back.
You got to read that play though.
But you do, where, then Smith takes the running bounce as well as it's inside 50 over to Dooley. It's just a great running team goal where they're just running in waves as well. And I think that's where they really got going. 7 of the Lions have kicked multiple goals and 9 overall have kicked goals on their day. And it's Ali Anderson has 25. The Lions are just sort of really strutting their stuff. But you look on the other side for Freo, Ainsley McCarthy was phenomenal, 28 touches and a goal. Kiara Bowers just yeah, cool, I'm still back, another 12 tackles. I think her, Marinoff and Tanya Kennedy are going to break records for tackles this year.
For sure.
They've laid a lot of tackles to start. It's just a big day for a big team. Ash Brazel, injury concern. Again, still haven't heard anything from there. Freo's defense can't take many injuries this year. They got struck with the injury bug last year. They don't need it again.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this will be a learning game for Freo. You know, they came into the season, with a lot of high expectations, but also a completely different game plan from last year, as we've already mentioned previously, that bringing in a lot of height. So they've got a different game style to get across. And there's no bigger challenge than facing the Lions as well when they want to respond big.
Yeah. And they're both now 1-1. So it'll be interesting to see how Freo bounce back. Obviously Brisbane, it's they're in the groove now. Maybe it's it's that slow build up towards the season. They just got caught on the hop last week. And a kick goes either way last week. They still win that game. You're it's fine. They're 2-0. But it's just no, 17 goals the next week. It's bring it on.
It's a big response. Hey.
Saturday night at Frankston, Hawthorn, 3-12-30 defeat Carlton, 2-10-22. This score, not great in the scheme of things with AFLW and what we sort of want to build as the game. Hawthorn, for 2 weeks in a row, have kicked horrendously and have still found ways to win a game. And I think that's the main story that we take out of this. But what do we think about Frankston as a venue?
Let's talk about that. On a Saturday night as well, under lights.
It would have been so cold. I was at home rugged up after being at the MCG. It was cold enough as it is, but down at Frankston, next to the water, it's windy as all can be, and you can see with the goal kicking, not just looking at the score, but if you've watched the game, kicks are going through and then they just chuck a bit of a leg spinner there or an off cutter, and it's not great for footy. And it's not a great spectacle to watch either. It was a great contested game.
Yeah.
But for football purists and how we want to grow AFLW, this wasn't a great thing to watch. And it unfortunately gives the worst people in the world a way to say, this is all crap and stuff. But if you watch the game, high quality football, very good defensive pressure, good contested footy around. It's just that we're playing at a windswept oval on a Saturday night where I reckon if you had any of the men's games from the weekend go down there, they would have kicked 7 goals, 15 as well.
Exactly.
Like we saw last night, Brisbane kicked 13-22 or something when there was no wind at the Gabba.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
But also tell me about the holding the ball rule interpretation because you have thoughts.
I don't like it. I said it last week and I still don't like it. I think the umpires have gone to the nth degree with it. They've gone too far. They've gone too hard with it. And Daniel Webster has come out in his press conference and he's basically like, well, when we're not rewarding the person going for the footy, we're better off not trying to win the ball and just tapping it along. And it's gone too far. Like Batesy was pinged 6 times holding the ball. There was over 40 free kicks paid. It's not good to watch because we're talking about getting the game flowing. And I think certain holding the ball calls are great because it does get the game flowing. But when you're pulling up so many of them, it actually slows the game down because you're stopping to reward the free kick. And that's where the fine balancing act of it goes. And some of them are just like they pick up the ball, they take a step, they get tackled, it's holding the ball. It's like, well, they've had no prior opportunity. So I understand you wanting less ball ups and stoppages and things like that. But there's a bit of common sense that needs to be applied in this instance.
Does it feel like they've gone to another extreme? Because in round 1, we were a bit confused about when they were going to pay it. And so it sounds like they were paying it a bit too often in this game. So they need a bit of a happy medium here.
This game was really bad for it. And I thought, whereas in round 1, there were a few ones that that doesn't feel right. You're a bit confused, but this game especially, I suppose, given the contested nature of it, Saturday night at the Oval, it does happen. So, but in talking about the game, Tilly Lucas-Rod, they've started the season off in dashing form. Just the run and carry that they're bringing off halfback, super fit, a lot of drive, like a lot of meters gained, which is sort of what Hawthorn need to get their game going. And they feel like a player that's really going to set them up from an offensive point of view off halfback. And at one point, they did go close to an hour without a goal because Carlton's defensive unit was fantastic. Like Darcy Vescio laid 5 tackles and Cordner 13 intercept possessions with 10 marks. Like
huge.
Carlton have, I think, realised from mistakes of last year where they leaked goals too much by putting Darcio down back and having Cordner there. It just really sets them up with a good, solid foundation, as we've seen with some of the men's programs as well. Building from a strong defence is the best way to start moving forward.
This seems like a decent result for the Blues as well. Like they got the win against the Pies in round 1, but the Hawks are a different team completely and, probably going to be at the pointy end of the competition. So for Carlton to only go down by 8 points, and it could have been different if they kicked straighter. So that seems like a good result for the Blues. Yeah. I mean, obviously they'd want the win, but just to be in there in the contest.
Yeah, and against a team that's probably going to finish in the top 6 as well. And Sophie Mackay, you can be more selfish in the forward line. Like, I understand doing the team thing, but you've got yourself into positions. Kick the goal. Just kick the goal.
Just kick the goal.
That's all you needed in this game.
Back
is
yourself
kick the goal. Let's go across to Sunday, where there was a lot of games of football on in a short period of time, and it was a great day in Melbourne yesterday. The hashtag day for it, it was definitely a day for it. Richmond, 3-3-21, defeated by the Western Bulldogs, 6-6-42 in what was the upset of the round. Take it away, Jess.
Upset of the round. That's a big call. But look, it was a very level contest for the first 3 terms of this game before the Dogs stepped up in the 4th. But I mean, when I say stepped up, they managed a couple of goals and kept the Tigers goalless. So the nature of the game was very contested, but for both teams, it was a struggle of moving forward to the forward line. So very defensive game. They were both flooding the back lines and then, just not a whole lot to go to when they were going into attack.
Well, we saw last week the Dogs only kicked the 1 goal against the D's, and then Richmond had their struggles against the Swans. They ended up having to send Beck Miller forward to kick 2 goals of their 5 through the week. So these are 2 teams that don't have the best forward lines. They're going to have to find makeshift ways to score goals. I do love Elaine Grigg in that Western Bulldogs forward line. She is just like a, what is it when you're like you're the your little spark that gets them going.
Yeah,
like she's the spitfire to get them all started. Like if she lays a great defensive tackle in the forward line because she's so quick and can lay those tackles, and now she's adding goal scoring into it as well. She's a player that can really get the Dogs going, and I think. Also for them, moving Jazzy Smith into the midfield as well has been a really good start to the season. She's racked up possessions like there's no tomorrow. Yeah,
absolutely. Just speaking of the forward lines, the Dogs draftee, Emma McDonald, she slots in quite nicely with Elaine. And although she didn't hit the scoreboard herself, she was definitely involved in scoring opportunities, which was great to see. They teamed up quite nicely. But the Tigers unable to take a mark inside 50, even though they had Katie Brennan and Caitlin Greiser up there. So that was just was tough to watch because you've got the talent there to kick goals, but it's just a battle of the developing forward lines, I guess. And those structures was really the story of the game. What I did like, though, from the game was the aerial presence from both teams, especially Dogs' key defender, Kaylee Kimber. She took 7 marks, really shutting down the Tigers going into attack. The Dogs, they probably could have had a few more on the scoreboard. They did miss a few easy sitters, which they would probably have that in review. But yeah, it was the Dogs did well to come out on top. But otherwise, it was a fairly level contest.
Yeah. This Richmond team, and let's be honest, they're disappointing. Like, to lose to the Western Bulldogs after they probably should have got flogged in round 1 too. This is really disappointing. This is a list that has underperformed for years. You have the best player, one of the top 3 players in the competition in Monconti. You have a legend in Katie Brennan.
Yeah.
And you're serving up this. And I know it's round 2, but this isn't good enough. This is a team that a lot of people they're going to do a bit this year. They're going to play finals. If they play like this, they're going to struggle to win 3 games. This is a disappointing result. And they've kept Monconti sort of quiet she's only had 21 touches. I know she still had 6 clearances, but the Dogs did set a loose tag. But this isn't good enough.
Yeah, and I mean, we have mentioned this before. How much can you rely on Monconti? They've also spoken about the youth coming through the team. The senior players were probably a little bit more confident going into the season that the youthful nature of the team could take them a little bit further. They were talking finals. So
they're not playing finals.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a reality check for them. But
it sounds rough to say in round 2, but if the Dogs keep this up, they are 1,000,000 to 1 to play finals.
Yeah,
I reckon there's 10 at the moment after 2 rounds. I could name 10 teams that are better than them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully it is a reality check for them. They're in there today doing recovery, doing their review, and like, we need to really turn this around quickly. They've got dream time this week against the Bombers. Obviously, we had the amazing draw there last year. If there's ever a time to turn around, it's dream time up in Darwin.
Absolutely.
Get the pickle juice ready because, it's going to be hot.
I was going to say, it's a tough challenge going up north, but make a statement.
And Grace Egan with the busted lip, if you've seen her photo on Instagram, it is a very, very deep cut on the lip. Apparently, it's her 4th visit to the dentist this year. That's not ideal.
Grace. Oh,
please wear a mouthguard if you're not wearing one. Arden Street. Oh, this is for you, Jess. North Melbourne. Unveiling, unfurling, raising the flag from winning last year as well. It was a lovely touch with the banner as well. 13-9-87 have belted Port Adelaide, who were, I'll be honest, they were really disappointing. 2-3-15. I've written one note here. Oh no one is going to beat North Melbourne.
Yeah, they just seem like a class above. Watching their skills just going end to end, coming out of the contest, their handball game, they really hit most of their targets. They're very clean with the ball. Very impressive over Port Adelaide. I mean, they were disappointing. They were disappointing. They have a couple of outs in defence though, so their back line was down, so that the Roos could really just pounce. But in saying that, Jasmine Garner, personal best, 6 unreal goals, and just her right-hand woman in Ash Riddell, 43. If it's not Harry Sheasel breaking a game's disposals record, it's Ash Riddell.
Equaling the record with 43. So
43 touches and a goal. So she was unreal. I actually did see a comment on social media saying, why is it the North Melbourne Tasmania Kangaroos? It should be the North Melbourne Irish Kangaroos with the amount of Irish girls they've got running around doing great things.
Cynthia Hamilton's goal of the year is in trouble. She has the goal of the year kicked at the moment. It's in trouble if Blathlin Bogue and Amy Gavin Mangan have their way once they learn how to bounce. Once they learn how to bounce, it's I went to Arden Street yesterday to watch it, and just watching them like sprint away and just throw the ball down and be like, oh God, I hope this comes back. Just the way that they bounce the footy. Yeah. It's so exciting to watch. Like, if you're ever going to watch a team, if you're not a supporter of AFLW, haven't watched it, watch North Melbourne play, because they're really good and they have excitement machines in these. Obviously, they've got a bunch of Irish players as well. Vicky Wall, first game back as well, has a thumping boot on her as well. Yeah. But once they learn how to bounce, I think it was Bogue in the first quarter, took a couple of running bounces, took a step inside, tried to do a jink, and then got run down by Alyssa Brooke. It was absolutely goal of the year if she kicked it until she got tackled. The best thing to take out of this, pure footy 101, is Jasmine Garner's first goal and the first goal of the game.
I was going to leave that to you to touch on because you were very excited about it.
It happened right in front of me. I was just standing in the forward pocket with a friend of mine who's good friends with Talia Randall. So basically, whenever we watch North games, we just follow Talia around the oval.
Absolutely.
And the vision will be playing now. It's just a throw up. It's just a perfect tap from Randall down to Garner, snap, goal. It's just perfect clearance footy, stoppage footy.
Yeah, and she can kick them from anywhere. Yeah. She was just unreal. And I really want to highlight one piece of play from Garner. She was all the way back in defence and the ball was coming out of defence, and you just watch her running all the way through to get herself into a position right in front of goals, to be on the receiving end, snap, goal. And she was unreal. Her work rate is she just went beast mode. Her
and Ash Riddell, just simply insane. But also without Cuthbertson and Amelia Borg, Port Adelaide struggled. And we knew they were going to struggle. Like, they're lucky that Kate Shearlaw had an almost day. She could not take a mark to save herself, unfortunately. It's one of those days where last week Talia Randall struggled, Shearlaw had a day out. When it all clicks for North, the scary thing is they're going to get even better. Like, it's wild to think that this 72-point win is their biggest. How have they not had a bigger one yet? Like, I know they're going to have a tougher draw every year, but it seems wild to me that that's their biggest win.
But that's just such a testament to this team and the depth. If one person's not having their best day, somebody else is up there just performing. Just more about the game though. It was quite actually even in the middle, but unfortunately for Port, North smashed uncontested possession handball game, of course.
Oh, they got that rolling.
Yeah, and it was just pretty much midway through the first term, you knew how this was going to go because their inside 50 count was already up like 11-3 or something. Yeah. Something crazy. Unfortunately for Port though, 11 of 13 goals came from intercept possessions for North. So that's something that that the Power can have a look at. Of course, Schultz was very well contained, just to 16 touches. And I know you mentioned it before, but a highlight for Port fans is definitely the Alyssa Brooke rundown tackle on Bogue. So that was an exciting sight to see, but unfortunately not many more exciting moments for Port fans to get around.
The two goals are actually pretty nice goals as well, but it's just unfortunately you've kicked two goals and they've just been smashed. Like, you've got Libby Birch down there, just a brick wall. Like, go on, try and get through me. It's fine. Like, just so calm under pressure. North, God, they're good.
Yeah, it was just fun to watch as a fan. We did touch on it at the start, but the unveiling of the flag was a really nice moment at Arden Street. The first opportunity for the Roos to celebrate their flag at the home ground with their home fans.
Good crowd there.
The men's team all came out, of course, the day after their season ended. So
they were on the Coke Zeros. It looked like they were on the beers. They were on the Coke Zeros. They walked past me. If you saw the red cans, they were Coke Zeros.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Can vouch. Like, that's not me sticking up for the boys. They were Coke Zeros.
Yeah. So really nice. But of course, they are over talking about the premiership because that's exactly what Riddell said in her post-match. She said they're done with it. So let's move on.
Okay, we'll move on there. Also, fireworks during the day. Hate them. Don't like fireworks during the day. I get it.
What's the alternate?
Don't know. I don't know. Streamers, like big streamer
gun?
cannon, like a big confetti gun.
Yeah.
But then that makes a mess on the field.
Exactly.
Can think of something better. Yeah. Arden Street, Essendon have snatched victory from the jaws of defeat.
At Arden Street, he reckons.
Arden Street, I write down. That's how good I'm going. Windy Hill, that's my bad. I left Arden Street to go to Windy Hill. I doubled up yesterday. Essendon 4-7-31 defeated West Coast 4-2-26. Now, I'll say that Essendon have snatched victory from the jaws of defeat, but West Coast have snatched defeat from the jaws of victory, I feel. West Coast, we need to have a chat. Daisy Pearce will just be staring at the screen. And in fairness, before we get in this, Essendon deserved to win this game. Mm-hmm. They should have been well in front because they absolutely peppered the goals in the second and third quarter and just could not get one through. They deserved to win this game of footy. West Coast, though, had the game won with a minute and a half to go. There's a scramble, and if people who haven't watched it, I've talked about it on social media as well, but there's a scramble for the footy. There's just a pop-up kick that lands about sort of 60 out from Essendon's goal. 4 West Coast players are standing there. One of them just has to take the mark and it is game over. You can kill a minute when you've got Ella Roberts like right there. They just let it bounce. They let it bounce. It's the first rule of footy. Don't let it hit the ground. Take the grab, you soak up time, you win the game. Unfortunately, they've let it bounce and it leads to a scrimmage. It gets over their back. Sophie Alexander takes the mark 10 metres out with 30 seconds to go and they've won the game. It's a game that Essendon did deserve to win, but West Coast will be going, how the hell did we lose that?
Yeah, that's something that they will absolutely be reviewing come today or tomorrow. And it might just be one of those developing learning moments. You got to know how to win in those last dying moments, especially in those close games. So, yeah, that's what Daisy Pearce will be telling her girls.
It was great desperation from Essendon just to really keep on pushing through, just to try and force the issue there. And if you weren't there at the ground, there was a fairly heavy breeze going towards the left of screen as well. So West Coast have had the breeze in the last quarter and haven't been able to get the job done. But this game was very tight and tense. This is 2 teams who are growing and moving up the ladder. And it was really tight and inside. Like we saw last week, Ella Roberts just got her run game going. Obviously, Prasparkas and Nanscorn against GWS were up and going as well. But it was really tight and inside. Bonnie Toogood was a target all day.
But our girl Painter couldn't get on the scoreboard.
Kicked the point, let you down. But it was a tough day. Like this scoreboard says it, but it was a very tight and inside contested game. There was a couple of big contests as well in the middle of the ground throughout the afternoon as well, like some very good physical hits as well. I've got it written down here somewhere and I'll need to find it because there was one, like the sound of it sounded like an absolute cannon going off. And you know, one of those ones when everyone goes, oh, when the contact happens. And I'll find it here because I need to find it. It's really annoying me that I didn't write it down on this. Oh, God. Daria Bannister and Roxy Rue. Bannister absolutely lined up Rue and Bannister ended up on her backside.
Gosh.
And Rue was just like, yeah, take that. And the contact was amazing.
They're tough.
I would have ended up back in the city if Bannister lined me up like that.
I know I just would be snapped in half like a twig.
Oh, yeah, that's like my fiancée. She's like, I just don't want to do that.
No.
But Essendon.
But I'm glad some people do want to do it.
But Essendon, after last season, like they made the finals, 2-0. This is a really good start.
Great
West
start.
Coast of 1-1. They'll be pretty flat that they're not 2-0 though.
Absolutely. But we move on.
Unley Oval. Adelaide, 10-5-65. Geelong 3-9-27. Yet another team that heard my criticism and took it personally, the Crows.
Do you know what? The scoreboard does not tell the accurate story. You would think if you just looked at the score here, you would go, Adelaide were on top all day.
No.
They absolutely weren't.
No.
This game was made in the final quarter.
This was a 16-minute game of football.
Absolutely. These 2 teams were neck and neck the whole way. Geelong, I think, were actually up at 3/4 time by a couple of points.
Yep.
And then Adelaide just blew the lid off. They just saw a win within reach and they went for it. 7-0 final term. They kicked 7 goals straight in a big statement win that takes them to an 11-zip record at Unley Oval.
Oh, man, the Swans play them at Unley Oval.
Oh, well, okay. Good luck to you.
Oh, come on, AFL. Put it at Norwood. We don't have scars from when we lost a semi by 70 there, but anyway.
Oh, he's still triggered. 4 goals in 6 minutes just completely shifted the momentum for
They had 12, in that 6 minutes, they had 12 kicks. 12 kicks.
That just feels
12
wild.
kicks to 2 led to 4 goals. It was ridiculous, but we'll pump up Adelaide in a second because they deserve it. Geelong have conceded 18 goals this season in 2 games. Not too bad. 12 of them have been in the last quarter.
That's tough.
They realise that there's a 4th quarter, right? Their second half fade outs to start the season is already a concern. Like they've been in these games. I know starting off against North and Adelaide is tough.
And the Swans next week.
We'll get to that one in a second. But this was a chance for them to knock off the Crows 1-1. They're setting up their season. Now they've just been blown out of the park again in the last quarter, and you're like, ooh, like you're scratching your head wondering what's going on because they were cooked in the last quarter. And we were concerned about Adelaide last week for their lack of sharpness and possible lack of conditioning as well. They just came out in that last quarter and went psycho. Like obviously Chelsea Randall, missing from last week.
Yes, she was at her brother's wedding.
Don't have weddings at the start of the season, Chelsea.
I would be telling my brother, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, work the schedule, work the wedding around me.
See, locked in my wedding venue over the weekend as well. It's not clashing with anything.
Great.
We're good.
Yeah, she was clearly the missing piece from last week. She returned to the forward line. She's, of course, the former premiership captain. She'll be staying in the attacking spot after kicking 3 goals.
Yeah, I'd be like, hi, I'm Chelsea Randall. This is where I'm playing. And you're like, yes, mate.
Yes, exactly. Ebony Marinoff, just
She's
never
so
count
good.
her out. She's a superstar. Huge again, 31 disposals, 10 tackles, best and fairest form, you'd think. And Eloise Jones, just super classy, game high 7 score involvement. So the Crows were flying. I think the really interesting thing is, though, the Cats plus 38 in uncontested possessions.
Yeah.
They were, as we've mentioned, they were
running
leading
around
the way.
having fun in the first half.
Yeah, you just would not know it by the end of the game. The Cats actually had 9 more inside 50s than the Crows with a goal efficiency, Alex, of 7%. I think that's where the game was lost for them.
Yeah.
They just completely fell away. We've spoken about how they did that.
They
to
didn't
the
kick
Roos
a
as
goal
well.
after the 8-minute mark of the second quarter. Like, you're not going to win games of footy doing that. It's pretty simple. And
Yeah.
they've had the difficult start, as we've said, by playing the Roos and the Crows. And now they play what looks to be the fittest team in the competition. Second fittest. Adelaide's probably, North Melbourne's probably the fittest. They're going to play the Swans at GMHBA next weekend. A Swans that have a Laura Gardner and Darcy Maloney, who, not that they're going to say they want a revenge game, but they will be pumped up to beat Geelong in Geelong after leaving the Cats, shall we say.
Yeah, exactly. And they've got a Chloe Malloy who's on a roll.
Chloe Malloy and McDonald next week's going to be a fun matchup.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's going to be a very interesting game for Geelong next week because they need to turn these second half slumps around.
Yep.
I'm going to back them in to do it because they're a good enough team.
Ooh.
I'm going to tip the Swans, obviously.
Oh.
But I'll back them in to not get completely run over.
Almost had me there. I thought you were saying you were backing them in against your Sword.
After the Swans have kicked their highest score ever, as if I'm going to jump off them as well.
The thing is, though, for Geelong, we talked about them pre-season as a serious contender this year, like a big riser throughout this season.
They
but
have to win this weekend.
Well, that's it. Once you lose the first 2 or 3 games, it's a hard fight back, especially in a short season.
If you're 0-3, you almost need to go 7-2 to finish off.
That's it.
That's pretty tough to do.
It's tough.
All right, we'll take a look at the ladder now as well. And the Demons, percentage coming out the wazoo, 500% to kick off the season as well. They are well on top at the moment.
Crazy. Roos nicely sitting in second.
Yeah, the Roos in at second with 383%. The Swans got a big percentage boost last week. They're on 272%. And then you've got Essendon and Hawthorn rounding out the 2 teams that are unbeaten. Brisbane, all of a sudden they're 6th. Winning by about 80 points will do that for you. Carlton and Adelaide round out the top 8. The concerning part is Geelong are 16th and Port Adelaide are 18th. Those percentages, which can turn around quickly as we've seen, but Port Adelaide being down there is a concern. I don't think Gold Coast and GWS being in the bottom 4 is a shock to anyone, though.
No, exactly.
But yeah, that'll be interesting to watch over the coming weeks. But the tipping results,
we did pretty well.
We actually did. We're keeping scores this year as well, so I'm going to keep these updated over the season. Jess has just extended out to an early lead. She is on 15 for the season, but tipped 8 of 9 on the weekend.
8 of 9, guys. I went against the Lions, and I've been really pumping up the Dockers these like few weeks leading into the season and the early rounds, but they let me down. So, and I should never counted the Lions out. I knew they were going to respond, but I went against them. So that's my one game that I went down.
Yeah. Tokyo guy, the stats guy, he tipped 8. I tipped 7, and Social Gal Spence tipped 8 as well. Stats guy's last. I just wanted to point that out. Big call results as well. We'll talk about them every week. We'll start off with Olivia. First of all, she had Hannah Ewings in, but then Ewings got dropped. So she pivoted to Caitlin Gould. 2 goals, needed 3.
Ooh.
That's a bit brutal. Greta Bodie did not kick 3 for the stats guy. The Dockers did not upset the Lions for you. Laura Gardner had 39 possessions and I called 35.
Well, that's close enough.
Yeah, it's a tick. It's a win. It's a big win for me. The lock results. Painter let you down.
Painter did me dirty. I was real.
Results are meant to be guaranteed, will absolutely happen.
And you went the safe bet, and Olivia went the safe bet. And
Stats guy tipped Richmond as his lock.
Yeah, we did not go the safe bets. So, Painter, can we just get back on track next week?
But yeah, I think like whoever gets in these tips first will just put North winning as their lock every week.
Yeah.
It's like on the men's show was whoever was playing Essendon for the last month was that's the lock. So understandable. I might change it up to something that's different, like Chloe Malloy kicks 6. That feels like a lock the way she's going at the moment. But yeah, Olivia had Ebony Marinoff to have 6 tackles. She laid 10. So good job, Ebony Marinoff there. Best performance of round 2. By the team or player, who was the best performer for you?
Do you know what? It was really actually a hard one to choose.
I had about 5 different ones.
Yeah, I did have a few up there. I've actually gone with Ash Riddell.
You break the possessions record, or equal the possessions record. I think it's fair.
Yeah, and I think when you're in a team with just like so many people that can stand up and so many people that can get their own ball, and when Jasmine Garner's kicking 6, she's still doing that. Like, that's pretty unreal. I thought she had an absolute day out, so good on her.
I was going to put Chloe Malloy, but I felt like putting the Swans again.
Yeah.
I went the Western Bulldogs. They deserved it.
Yeah.
Big upset win, doubled the score of Richmond, and I don't think that I'll be putting the Dogs in there too many times this year, whereas I think I might put a few other Swans in there this year or other players. So the Dogs deserve their plaudits. That's a big win.
Nice.
Tam's got them going well.
Yeah, great.
Start off the season, have a big bounce back there. But that is us, done and dusted on AFLW Today. If you did enjoy today's episode, make sure you subscribe to AFL Today on YouTube, because that's where you'll see this video plus all the stuff for the men's competition as well. Hit the like and subscribe button as well as the notifications bell, so anytime we do a video, it pops up. A lot of content coming your way with Social Gal Spence back in action. Follow us on X, Facebook, Instagram and TikTok for more footy content all season long. Please subscribe and start all of our shows on your podcast app. Cricket Today, this AFLW Today, which is under the AFL Today banner. Hold all tickets, True Bloods, Honest Beers, Footy Form Guide, and Out the Gate, which will be on a podcast platform eventually. We need to get it ticked off. Need approval. But of course, thank you to Jess.
Thanking you.
Thank you to producer Gerald and Brody behind the camera. And of course, Social Gal Spence smashing out the social graphics as well. We will catch you next week for the round 3 wrap of AFLW.